So Trinidad and Tobago joins the global UPI network, BHIM, in 8 countries now. So Trinidad and Tobago has become the first Caribbean nation to enable transactions through India's BHIM app using the Unified Payments Interface, UPI. Indian Prime Minister Modi congratulated the country on adapting the digital transaction system via the BHIM app. So this is in place.
To do this, they had buy-in and integration with the local banks, because they're going to need to have a way for people to more or less have the digital money and have it be transferred to the government. So one would be some type of cooperation or integration with the local banks, or some kind of agreement. And then 2, if the government makes certain things, probably not mandatory, but make certain payments available via this, versus you had to come with cash, no links, that kind of thing. That would be like a good way, like a low-hanging fruit for them to get people to use it. Like you go licensing office, we go certain other places, and sometimes they tell you have to pay with cash, or there no change, we have to use links or whatever. If they kind of make this available as an option, that could be a way to get people to be on board with it.
Welcome to the Trinity TechCast. This is episode number 121 on the 6th of July, because tomorrow is the 7th. Why did I think today was the 6th? And we say happy 4th of July or happy Independence Day? Any Americans last week? No.
They say happy 4th of July, I think. I think they both are interchangeable. So you're asking if I told anybody that?
Yeah.
Nope.
You are linked. You have none of your family that in the States, you ain't tell them nothing. But wait, so they say happy Independence or happy 4th of July?
They probably say 4th of July. The most, but some people might say Independence. But
I see most of the memes about 4th of July and learning to barbecue and things that you'll ask your AI this weekend. And there was real making jokes about all the different things that they would normally do at 4th of July that people generally not skilled at, which is like barbecuing and working the grill. There's a men who does real hype up themselves about being grill masters, and they just burn everything. Yeah, I saw a lot of memes about asking ChatGPT and asking Gemini and whoever else. I don't know. It was probably like something that was in my little niche of technology. But yeah. My name is Andre Charles, for your general information. Last time I take like 3 minutes before we introduce people's names. Now we did it 2 minutes.
Oh, it was 3 minutes.
Yeah, we're getting better. Now it's 2 minutes and 6 seconds according to my Audacity, which we synced, of course. Yes, we did. Yeah, I'm your host, and we talk about technology here. My first co-host is Akeem there, and he's also known as Redbit_Tech. Sometimes. And Keller Noel on Instagram is Makella Noel, and I just so happened to see that Makella had a new hairstyle because she had an Instagram post posing on the top of the Hyatt. You know how hard it is to get to the top of Hyatt?
I had to drive up there. That's where they had us park. I was like, dog, all the way up
car is one of those speed bumps.
I hate to go up there.
Yeah, that area. Where people just go up there for the photo shoots. Like when they get a new car and thing. Or if you want to sell your car and you're selling to premium people, you ain't going to no car park and thing with pitch to take pictures of that car. You're going on top of the Hyatt and you're taking pictures of that S-Class, whatever it is, Mercedes, or whatever. If they're going up on any site, you can't do that at the side of the road. You can't do that at the side of the road. Yeah. So I know somebody who went up there to do a photo shoot for a high-end car, and they was like, wow, it's a real speed bumps to get up there. I was like, yeah, you're not supposed to drive fast in a parkade. Yeah. So they have a lot of speed bumps. But the security does run you too. Security does run you if you go up there to Lime. Because some people just go up there and try to Lime. Because we just out here making a line for everything. I pop the trunk, and wherever the trunk popped, that's the lineman spot.
I can see that happening.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, my techiness for the week happened in the last 15 minutes. I totally automated a spreadsheet for the podcast. So for those of you all who listened and you saw the same episode number come up twice because you automatically download your podcast. Yes, we did. We did have a what's called? What do you people else say? A faux pas? Yeah, that is a real old person thing.
I don't. I never hear about that.
You never hear about
the word faux pas?
Oh, nope. Wow. It had to be a no thing because they didn't say it in some.
Well,
I don't know.
What I mean?
A faux pas is like
it was a mistake.
An embarrassing mistake. So it's like
faux quoi?
Faux pas.
Faux pas.
F-A-U-X-P-A-S, yeah. It is a French thing. It's not F-O, it's F-A-U-X-P-A-X.
Yes.
P-A-S, P-A-S, yeah. Yeah. So it's an embarrassing mistake.
Embarrassing or tactless mistake.
Yeah. Bougie not people.
It is fun now, wait. I remember I was working somewhere and one of the managers say, Andre, I made a faux pas. And I like, what the hell she just say? I think I deleted the database. And I was like, okay, that was very silly of you. But don't worry, I can fix it. And I just want to understand the concept of you make a mistake. You're supposed to be skilled enough to do something, but you fumble it.
Yeah, well, you're typically use like faux pas in a social context. So if you're supposed to greet people in a certain order when you walk into a room and you don't do that, that's a faux pas.
Okay. Protocol on them kind of thing.
Just to be clear in South, we call that a mistake.
Alright, yeah. So I automated a spreadsheet and start to use =AI in my functions, which I feel like when I start to teach my children to do in class when I teach in spreadsheets, I'll just be like, yeah, put =AI and let me see what they could do in here. Actually, for the SBA, they could do that and solve the problem very easily. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna give them that to do and see how it work out. Because you still have to prompt, you still have to put the prompt inside like a formula in the spreadsheet. But it was fun to do it and get to work. And now I've automated a spreadsheet because of a mistake. Mistakes are the best teachers. Yeah. Where did your techiness take you, Mr. Akim?
Yeah. So at work I use a like a email API to send emails, like when account creation or recovery and stuff like that. And this month they're gonna stop the free tier, and the free tier used to get like 10,000 emails free a month. No more of that. So they're gonna stop it. So my techiness was building something using an internal SMTP to kind of replace that kind of email API. So we're building something internal to replace the email API. So more or less an internal email API for all the applications.
Yeah. SMTP does make me cry.
Yeah, but it's not the normal SMTP, yeah. It's kind of special.
What that's off the top of your head, that's not those say it, Akim. What port SMTP does use, Michaela?
Don't ask for that. 20 something. Maybe 25.
25.
Yeah, 20. Yeah. SMTP is used to port 25. And that used to get me so vexed because I couldn't remember what port SMTP was used, the port TLS was used, the port was the next secure one?
443.
Yeah, was the protocol? HTTPS? SSL. Yeah.
SSL. 1521 is database.
Yep. Yeah. The port used to get me real vexed when I had to configure email in one of the companies I used to work with because I used to mix up the ports all the time, and then we troubleshooting why the email's not sending why this one not coming and whatnot. And then you had to go and like change the ports. And they had some sort of custom port for something because it, SMTP.
Some 9,000 something.
Yeah, 8,001 I think was the port. Anyhow.
Yeah.
Where did your techiness lead you, Michaela, this week?
It led me to the Tech Hub Island Summit on Wednesday. I went to day 2.
That was a part of the job?
Yeah, because work is a sponsor. So work was one of the sponsors. So we got to go and I listened to all the cybersecurity talks. It was very interesting. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, hobnobbed with the big wigs, had conversations and things. Yeah.
So you got to meet the minister?
No, the minister was day one, and then another minister was supposed to come and do the closing remarks for day two, but he was not able to because of the parliament and the minister who came down.
The Indian. Yeah. Not the minister, the Prime Minister of India, that way you mean? The minister?
Yeah, the Indian Prime Minister. So they sent I think they sent like the permanent secretary instead. Yeah, that was
the permanent secretary is also gonna work. Okay, well, one of the articles we had to discuss is one of the things that was set up at that summit with the Minister of AI and Public Administration. All right, so let's jump into our rundown today for episode 121. Our payment system is getting an upgrade because the Prime Minister of India came and signed off on a lot of things and deals with Trinidad and Tobago, and the UPI thing that we were talking about last year that was in the works, it is officially in ink. And we know that it exists and it's going to be implemented for sure. And the government actually made an AI statement, and the same thing Michaela was talking about. We'll dissect that AI statement a little bit. Probably too much dissection will take place, but we still have to do it because I want to like prove a point. And IBM AI leads to more jobs, they say. Normally when we talk about AI, we're talking about doom and gloom and people losing their jobs, but IBM seems to have done something against the grain, which may be the silver lining to the AI cloud and doom that we're talking about. So let's get into our first topic, which is the UPI payment system. It's coming to Trinidad and Tobago, and it's in some other countries too. So we'll talk about it after this. Well, you probably made it this far in the podcast. That means you probably like technology a lot and like to at least hear us talk about technology. And that also means you may know somebody or somebody who knows somebody or somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who wants a website built or an app built or some sort of technology integrated in their business. If you want to help them out, you could send them to Make It Simple TT, send them to us, and we have business services that range from building websites to building apps to invoicing systems to ensuring that technology is used in your company to installation of routers, buying things online. So you could check us out 308-8799. You could check our services out, or you could go to makeitsimplett.com and see some of the things that we've done and maybe give a recommendation to our website built or something like that. All right, have you ever read the Hindustan Times?
Yes, I actually have.
Oh, for real? Nah, you're playing with me. Like, oh, shucks.
No, yeah, for real. Like, when you search certain things that the West not doing, the Hindu Times and the Economic Times are in there that's come up.
Yes, that's the same, yes. I was watching Economic Times in India too. And I was actually following on Instagram because there's report cool stuff about technology. Okay. So yeah, this website is credible because I was really worried that I have some, shady website, but the website credible, except that it kind of dated in its layout, but the newspapers, they really care too much. All right, so Trinidad and Tobago joins the global UPI network, BHIM, in 8 countries now. Here's the full list. So Trinidad and Tobago has become the first Caribbean nation to enable transactions through India's BHIM app using the Unified Payments Interface, UPI. Indian Prime Minister Modi congratulated the country on adopting the digital transaction system via the BHIM app. So this is in place. Before I go into the nitty-gritty of the article, mobile payments, phone payments, back-end payments, digital payments on a whole in Trinidad and Tobago has been pretty slow. Do you use any mobile payment app? Either y'all?
Nah. Well, no. Unless they count like just regular mobile banking apps, but
No. Like sending money from one person to another person or paying for services through an app? None.
Yeah. All right, so for me it's no too, kind of, because you need two to tango, and a lot of people just don't use it too. So if the adoption rate low, then
yeah. I don't use one. I want to use one, but closest I come to was Pesh. I set up Pesh all the way through, but I didn't do it. And cash, I didn't bother to try because there's nobody else that like once my credit card working, what I'm going to do it for. But the UPI system, here's the hope that we have. Now, when I first heard about this UPI system, I thought that it was a system that they were trying to target countries to be able to get it to work in smaller places because bigger countries would have their own stuff. But apparently this thing is in France since 2024. They accept any payments and you could buy tickets to go to the Eiffel Tower via this UPI system app. UAE, United Arab Emirates, they're using it since 2021. Bhutan is using it since 2021. Nepal is using it since 2024.
Mauritius.
What? I never hear about this place in my life.
That's a resort place.
Oh, like one of them islands that kind of self-governing sort of. Okay.
I didn't know about that because during my honeymoon, you just be looking at all the different destinations, and they was very, 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 very expensive to go. So
okay, all right. Thank you for pronouncing that for me. With my uneducated self, I made a faux pas. All right. Okay. Sri Lanka, yeah, that's pretty big, and Singapore using it since 2023. So those list of heavy-hitting countries, okay, they're not all heavy-hitting countries, but there are some heavy-hitting ones inside there. I would consider France to be one. I'll consider Singapore for sure, and UAE having it inside. That's a nice cohort to be a part of in terms of mobile payments and being able to accept cross-country transactions and those sort of things. What you think our chances are of implementing our mobile app payment from a government level, from a systemic level, and it succeeding to the point where we are having two to tango, as Akeem was saying. Yeah.
I mean, if to do this, data buy-in and integration with the local banks, because you're gonna need to have a way for people to have them to more or less have the digital money it be transferred to the government. So one would be some type of cooperation or integration with the local banks, or some kind of agreement. And then two, if the government makes certain things, probably not mandatory, but make certain payments available via this versus the come with cash, no links, that kind of thing. That would be like a good way, like a low-hanging fruit for them to get people to use it. Like you go licensing office, we go certain other places, and sometimes they tell you have to pay with cash or there no change, or you have to use links or whatever. So if they kind of make this available as an option, that could be a way to get people to be on board with it.
Okay, all right, Michaela, what do you think we're going to get people to adopt it?
Raising awareness, first of all, because it's the first time I'm ever hearing about this. I still have no clue what this is. So
there's like in the US, it has Zelle and Cash App and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's more closely related to Zelle, where Zelle kind of integrated with your bank account, and if you send money between me to you, it goes directly to your bank account. It have no go into an app, and then from the app you have to transfer to the bank. It goes straight to your bank account. So I think they're using a similar technology. That will kind of say if the bank's involved, and it's had a kind of seamless transfer of money without having to go into some third-party app and then you pay to transfer to your bank. So that direction from a user to the government, the payment will be seamless. But if you think they would make it available to third-party,
they should, because if they don't make it available to third parties, it's kind of useless in that sense. because people will only be using it when they have to do government services, and it's not that often you have to go into like licensing office or go into another government office. So if it's only available for those services, people may just see it as another annoying thing they have to set up instead of a useful thing they can use.
Cause I saw one of the countries use, I think is Singapore, where they say HitPay in partnership with HitPay, which is a payments infrastructure firm. So I guess that's like a third party that are using the technology.
Yeah. In some countries, they have a third party that is using the technology and put it in place, and in some countries, the government is the client, and the client will use the services. I just think, in order for it to work, we need that killer use case where people have to do it, and they will find great relief in using it, to the point it becomes like popular. It becomes a great convenience. And the only use case that I could think about is paying bills. When I see people lining up by Flow to pay bills, or lining up by Digicel, or lining up by mobile to pay bills and all them kind of thing, I just be like, come on, man. You know you could. If there's some sort of partnership with these sort of people, bill payments, where I ain't talking about the bill pay like you go by the lotto place and you could pay a bill there. The partnership where you have this app and it's on your phone and your bank account linked to it, and all you need to do is get a email or some kind of thing, or you just walk up to the place, scan the QR code, and say how much money you want to put on your bill, and it pay a bill. That will be like a killer feature or use case that I could think of. But it's not the best use case, but in order for it to work, you need something that could create mass, like, hey, you try that, boy? Hey, this thing real good, boy. Yeah, that kind of thing, because that's how train users work. That's how train good users work.
So you hear what you say, right? A bank account. A lot of trainees don't have bank accounts and just more or less deal with cash.
Yeah.
So a lot of them people who going to line up to pay have no bank account. Or the dealing with cash.
So what will get them to go and create a bank account and use this app?
Does he think to create a bank account you just need a lot of things? Job letter, payslip, utility bill. Some people either they don't have it, or they don't want to go through all the hassle to open a bank account, and that they pay a monthly fee and all of that.
I think that they could take all the job letter apart, and you could just carry like a payslip. Okay, what is the reason?
Some people don't get payslip. Some people just get a brown envelope.
Right. So why saying is, why do I need a job letter and a payslip to open up a bank account again? Please refresh my memory. I know it, but I want to hear it from somebody. But I want to hear what your justification is.
You need a job letter, or it's just a payslip? Well,
you just need a job letter. That your KYC. Makala, you don't know about them thing. You know your customer.
I am cyber. But for me, I think that's when I opened an account like 2 years ago. Well, for me, the most annoying thing is like the job letter or the payslip is the proof of address. Because I live in my parents' house. So, for my proof of address, somebody else has to do up a letter, sign the letter, and submit that as a proof of address. Same thing for people who rent in. That proof of address is irritating.
Answer my question yet. Why?
It's be job letter or payslip, I think. Because they want to make sure money going and be coming into the account, so that they in turn could take your money and lend it out and make interest on it.
Because they're fast.
So it's going to cost them money to have an account open for you. And
although I opened an account last year, I think with Republic, and they have no monthly fees on it. I think you just need to keep keep a certain. I don't even think you have to keep a certain mass. But the only thing is a fully online account, I think.
That's E3 account.
Yeah.
Well, First time I hear about that. Okay, well then if they want this UPI thing to work, they have to get the banks to be able to create accounts with people a lot easier and faster. If they get the banks to do that and the hurdle for the account creation goes down, then it will be easy for them to create the account, link the app, and then start to experience the greatness of it. So here is my the example I gave you all day about paying bills. That was a weak example. Here's my strongest example: buying gas. If you could go and just scan a QR code and pump your gas, you win. If you could get people to go through that.
If you could get people to trust it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not scan a QR code at a gas station at all. That's why even though most of the pumps have card readers, everybody lines up to go behind the cashier.
Wait.
Nobody uses it.
Excuse you?
I don't use it. Hello?
This guy here does use it.
Wait.
Why? Hello?
Nah.
Hello? After all them card skimmers fiascos, I am not using it. I'm going to the cashier.
Yeah, but I card skimmers is chip cards using now. You can't skim chip card.
I don't care. I go to the cashier.
Hey.
Not me and that.
Nah, I pay at the pump fully.
So you see, Andrew,
Somebody
the
take over my
cybersecurity
QR code.
person does do this, So
No.
All right.
No.
Okay. If you make a QR code that you have to use within the app, right? So you have to open the app to scan the QR code, and the app will not scan any other QR code than the official one. So if there's a fake QR code, the app will basically give you an error message. You use it?
No.
Yeah, me too. I don't like QR codes.
I don't like QR codes at all.
I find it's too much work.
But then
it's so insecure.
That's the basis of the UPI system. Is QR codes in an app and you pay and like
me using that.
And well, yeah, you can transfer money from one person to another person, but like, what is? Hold on. I didn't expect this amount of QR code phobia from all there.
It's not phobia.
QR codes are so ridiculously insecure. It's not even funny.
Yeah. Let me get to like, you don't have to like, click on the link. Okay, that's from a position of privilege. However, no, what I'm saying is, if you have to use it from within the app, it's secure.
That's if it's implemented properly and they take proper security measures, and I don't put none past nobody.
Oh gosh, I mean, France using it. That's just like,
But are they using it with QR codes like that?
Yeah. When you watch the images and you check this stuff on the internet, it's have like a UPI particular QR code. If you watch the picture that they have on top, they have like scan to pay with the BHIM UPI app, and that's basically how it's implemented in all
like
the
in
different places. Stores, all of the different things. You just scan and you pay, but it will also have NFC and them things, so you could take the phone and tap it on the kiosk or whatever it is and pay also. But not everybody gonna have that NFC reader. It's real easy for you to just print out the QR code and have it up and you pay for it. So
and it's very easy for me to print over a QR code on top of that and and do what I want with it.
And but
because you're thinking of it from a perspective of people have to scan the QR code within the app, but people think QR code is automatically opening the phone, opening the camera app, and scanning it like that, or they have a QR code reader on the phone. They're using that. They're not thinking to go inside the app and do that. Thinking of the fastest possible way.
Yeah, like you see,
if I had to do all that, I just go in my wallet and take it off my card.
Then we doomed all it. Like what? We
no,
fully doomed.
I think like the example they give, the gas station have a real taboo behind it. So let me say if it's a government office, they have the
Don't die. Yeah,
bless
he
you.
coughing it. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, like if it's a government office, I had the QR code, and as Michaela said earlier, you have an awareness program, tell them about it and whatever. It could work in that setting, but the gas station one, I ain't gonna scan no QR code by no pump because it have too much scamming going on there. But in a controlled setting and environment with awareness and stuff like that, it could probably work for some people, but I don't think I see widespread adoption.
So there is no killer implementation that will get the population to start to use it, like how the US has used Cash App and because Cash App and Zelle, they basically link to your phone number and you're sending money back and forth to people, but people has accept payments with it also. And
right, to me that's what Encash is, because Encash so a lot of merchants take Encash as payment, and Encash is linked to your phone card,
but not widely adopted.
I see it a lot of places where I go frequently.
Well,
so a lot of places I go to take Encash.
But somebody had to do some type of study. But I guess Republic Bank have the data to know, okay, how much people actually using Encash, how much transactions per month versus links and credit card Encash does really, does generate. And that would kind of give you a good answer.
I just know I want this to work. Right?
I want it to work too.
I want this to work.
And I scan no QR code.
I want this to work badly, and I'll scan it on your behalf. I will open the app and I'll scan the QR code because I want to see it. I want to see it happen where we tap phones. Like I see it, somebody that I know have an Apple Watch, right? And they link their US credit card to it. If you link your TT credit card to it, the Apple Watch will work. But
wallet.
Yeah, he tap a point of sale machine with the watch and it work, and the CSR was aghast. Like, what? That'll work? And while she was in mid-sentence, the transaction went through, and her soul nearly left her body because she didn't understand that, it will work because it using the same technology as the chip card.
Like, it seemed like me, I would never do that because you're using US dollars to buy things in TT.
Oh gosh, yes, that's the fallout of it. But the actual convenience of it was shown, and it was possible. And the CSR was like, whoa, I know, this is the future. Like, wow, he watched to pay and that kind of thing. That's the kind of thing we want to have, and the kind of thing we want to live with. Like, so So you both of us represent one generation, and our generation above us, right? Like a few generations above us. And you would think Michaela generation will really want to drive this forward, but
I'm not scanning no QR code. I spend too much of time doing cybersecurity seminars and webinars training people not to scan QR codes. I must scan a QR code? Nah.
So, alright. You in the field, you in cybersecurity and stuff, right? And I'm sure you have friends who not in the field. You think they would be more open to doing it? Or
yeah,
they will be skeptical too?
Well, it's less being skeptical. It's more like you get tired of scanning QR codes. So you go to a restaurant nowadays, you have to scan a QR code to see the menu. Anybody want to have to do that? Because you have to make sure you have data all the time. If you don't have data, then it's not really going to work out. It's more like my generation is kind of experiencing QR code fatigue, in a sense.
Yeah.
There's too much of QR codes everywhere. I'm not scanning all these QR codes.
Okay, I understand. QR code fatigue is that thing, and we need to acknowledge that. Yeah, all right. But it's tapping.
If I can tap my phone, sure, no problem.
Okay, because that's secure. I have a handshake and all kind of thing that had to take place. So you're not really going on. It's just like tapping your card. And if you tap your card too much times, eventually I have to put in the PIN because there's security measures and stuff in place. Okay, those kind of QR code. But tap your phone, I want that real bad. Real bad.
Yeah, one of my friends a couple of years ago, she came back down from the UK. We went to dinner. She tapped using her phone to pay for it.
Yeah.
In TGI.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
She was flexing on all that.
Yeah, boy. I was like, hey, per.
The UPI payment thing, that's where it will take us. So those kind of QR code, but tapping your phone and sending direct money to people and it goes in your bank account immediately. That matters.
That I was gonna say, if I could do that and send money to you and you get it immediately, I wouldn't mind scanning a QR code. I'll scan a QR code to do that.
Okay. Because it's like a fiat transaction, like cash immediately. It going in your pocket one time now, and it's usable.
Yeah.
As soon as you finish that transaction, you can use that money one time and you don't have to wait for it to clear, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I'll scan all the QR codes if that is the case. Yeah.
Yeah, like if I want to reach to the point where I could send you an invoice and the QR code is on the invoice and all you have to do is scan that QR code and that payment going through. Because that bank...
You could do that with Paywise right now,
that bank transfer thing. Yeah, but you can't get the money from Paywise immediately. The money not going to go to your account until the next day because it's still using the ACH system.
Mm-hmm.
So, that is what I want to get to. Make the ability for you to pay me so easy that there's no reason for us to have a problem.
But then too, like with me now, if paying you... If you make it real easy, I will be skeptical. Like, I just want to take out my physical card and type in the numbers and make sure. Like, when things too easy, just be like when me, certain things, you could do a lot of things on your phone, but certain transactions and certain things, I don't do it on my phone. I just need to do it on my laptop or computer. I don't know, like when I'm purchasing stuff,
online.
If I'm using my credit card and certain things, I was be like, right, I want to be on my laptop. I don't want to do this on my phone.
Okay, no, I want to know why. I don't
know, it's feel more secure within myself. Yeah.
Unless I'm using an official app. So like the only things I'll buy from my phone is if I have, so the apps I have installed, I have Amazon installed, I have Steam installed, I had Shein installed, and I had Temu installed. I was spending too much money, so I uninstalled them. But yeah, so if I'm using the apps directly, I don't mind doing the transaction on my phone. Otherwise, I will do it on my laptop where I have an ad block, and all that tralala.
I don't remember ever having to put in my credit card information on my phone because everything I use is either the card is already in because I trust that company because it's big enough, or it's just PayPal. Like if they have the ability to accept PayPal payments, I'll just be like, I'll use PayPal because I'm not gonna type it in.
PayPal, let's take out money though, like a percentage.
PayPal don't work for me for nothing.
No, I had PayPal to take out a percentage from me, like when I make any, like I buy something on eBay yesterday, and PayPal just take the money, and it was the exact cost price.
Check your statement. I think that is take like a transaction fee.
Nah. Well, I multiply the US amount and I get the notification from the bank one time with the same amount of money. I think it depends on if I buy it on eBay, they probably put it on the seller side. Maybe. Like the seller could have absorbed it. It's possible.
Yeah. Like check you have to do when you're buying something, check the price, check if the price change when you switch it to PayPal versus credit card.
I don't think that I would have noticed that yesterday when I make that purchase. The price didn't change.
Right.
But I'll double check it because I wouldn't doubt you. But
like I only use PayPal. Like if it's a real shady website, but I really, really want to buy something, and PayPal are available. But shady, but something that not big as you say, I would use PayPal. Or Like I have a US credit card, and I could create temporary credit cards and set a specific dollar amount. So like if it's a purchase for $10, create a credit card for this $10, and I would use it like that.
All right, let me check. Okay, no, the price didn't change from what it was. The price didn't change from what it was stated on the eBay item. And let me check the the amount that came out of the bank account, because you're gonna make me think I losing money. Wow, I've been a member of PayPal since 2015. Ooh. I've been here. Been there, boy. Purchases, order history. All right. Let's do, all right.
Here
Calculator.
Check, pull up Gemini and ask Gemini if PayPal does charge a fee when you use it to make a purchase with your credit card.
But yes, they do. Just the seller or the vendor could absorb it if they want to. The seller could absorb it. All right, now let me go and check my bank email and see how much money they took from me when I made that purchase. Actually, it's less than the amount.
Okay, what bank is that, Republic?
Nah, FCB. No, I had to check the US conversion for that day because I'm using like the generic 6.7 now.
6.7993.
That's oddly specific, but I'll just...
Because I'll know it by heart.
Okay, all right.
Some days it go to 6.74 something.
How much is it? 6.1?
So it has certain cycles. 6.7993.
993.
So if you go on Republic Bank website, right?
Yeah.
And I have a section where there's look at the Forex rates. Every 10 days or so, the rate does like inject central bank, whoever does inject US dollars, and the rate does drop to 6.74. So the normal rate does be like 6.79. But every 10 days it drop to 6.74. So it's at a time. So sometimes when I buy stuff on my Republic card, it's at the time when the injection gonna be. So every day is at a check time when it's gonna be. So you get a lower rate to pay off your credit card on that
wow,
day.
This is wild. Okay, thanks for that brilliant piece of information. I will use it probably nowhere. But yeah, my bank charged the exact amount that was on the if I multiply 6.7993. Yeah, it's around that exact same number. It's actually less than that exact same number. So yeah, that eBay purchase I made yesterday was fully exactly as it was stated.
Okay, well, as you say, the seller probably absorb it.
Yeah, eBay big enough for that, yeah. Yeah. All right, well, that's wow, we talk about this real long. Next thing we'd rather talk about that longer, which is the government making an AI statement. Well done. Scan the QR code just to let McKellar see it.
Right now you're listening to Training TechCast, and more than likely you know that I love technology a lot. But more so, I love teaching technology. I'm a CSEC IT and Cape Computer Science and IT teacher, and I have classes that are available. So if you know anyone, any student that's looking for quality Cape Computer Science or CSEC IT classes, you can check us out 308-8799 on WhatsApp or makeitsimplett.com/register. You can get classes, notes, recordings, IA, SBA help, everything that you could think of that will get you that one in CSEC IT. So you can check us out.
All right, the government made an AI statement, and this is the first time that they actually spoke about AI in a public setting. It's been a lot of other stuff that we've been talking about, but first time they heard AI. So, no, this is the laptop one, my bad. Yeah, 2,000 laptops. Yay! All right, AI is a welcome tool but shouldn't replace workers. This is where McKellar was this week, and the Minister of Public Administration and Artificial Intelligence, MPAAI, that is the acronym for the ministry. Wow, that's crazy. Says artificial intelligence has immense potential to possibly shape the public service. However, he asserted that AI should not replace workers but aid them in his address to the 2-day AmCham 7th Annual Tech Hub Island Summit, blah, 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 blah. He said, AI holds enormous potential from predictive healthcare analysis to intelligent traffic systems, but we must proceed wisely, prudent, and mindful of the risk, privacy, security, ethics, and job displacement. Our approach is clear. AI should augment, not replace human capability. It should enable public servants to focus on high-value, people-centered work. And he added, we will support AI innovation hubs and incubators, nurturing homegrown solutions tailored to our unique Caribbean realities and nuances. That was the crux of his presentation. And I just find it was very muted, very generic, very like, okay, this is what we know already. We've been saying this for the past 3 years. How are we going to try to do anything about Trinidad and Tobago and making the public sector a little more efficient with respect to the implementation of the AI? And that is what I was looking for. Am I wrong for looking for that?
Not really, but I mean, as we say a lot of times in the past, we had a lot of things to fix or tackle before you even reach AI. It's a lot of things that need improvement, need upgrading before you even start talking about AI. And I guess you could use AI to help you with some of the improvements, but I totally get what you're saying. It really moved the needle on the conversation, at least for us, but like that's for us, right? But if you're talking to a different audience, it will probably appeal to them in a different way. Because like last week, right? I was in a totally different setting, not talking to technical people who in IT and stuff like that, right? Could say more or less people that work with their hands. And I was showing them something. I was like, yeah, I use AI to do this. And I was like, what was AI? And I was like,
you playing with me.
Nope.
Nah. Like, yeah.
And I had to kind of, it's like, it's computer to artificial. And, that's like a general brief thing. So it have people that totally don't know what AI is. So that speech, I know have people it have people at different stages in terms of it. Have people like us who probably every week we read and everything, we know we using it, we deepen it. It have people that would probably just be hearing the rumors about it. And this speech will probably talk to those people who probably think AI coming for the jobs, and it have people that totally don't know what AI is. Like artificial intelligence, I might think Terminator, that kind of thing. So it had different people at different stages on the spectrum.
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer or Downer Debbie, but that's bad. That's bad that they don't even know that it exists. Yep. Not that they don't even understand it, that they don't know it exists. That's the crazy part. Because no.
Yeah, like, yes. That people that just...
Alright, okay.
They're just not in this world at all. Like, they're in a totally different... Yeah.
Michaela, are you meeting people like that?
Well, no, but I think given the context, the speech was acceptable. I assume that was the opening and the closing remarks, or
I guess
when did he speak exactly? Based on the general vibe of the summit, it was appropriate. Just say something general, something about AI, and how it's not replacing jobs, and how people should utilize it alongside working, and call it a day.
No, I read a article about Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban was saying that if he was 21, he'd be sleeping and breathing AI tools, because he knows that the person who's able to maximize this is going to be first trillionaire. And it might be just a person, not a company, who just figured out how to maximize it the best as possible. So he was basically kind of urging people to, well, kind of saying that if you're not focusing on that right now, you really you're missing the bus. And the minister not saying or giving some sort of future hope or inclination towards the public service getting better, like some sort of definite, not a promise, not an election promise, but some sort of hope that, yeah, we're going to start to try to do something. I just feel like naming the ministry and putting AI inside of it and not having a kind of bullish or forward-facing statement about it, that don't give me much it don't give me much inspiration to know that in the next 5 years that we're going to have technology implementation to the level of artificial intelligence. We might have technology implementation, but the artificial intelligence part, I could just see it being a buzzword and a promise that didn't materialize.
So, I mean, part of it too is election. Part of it too is, like, before you go into a place, you would have the ideas, you'll have the motivation, you'll have the ambition to go in.
And you reach and you see what it actually has.
The ideas. And when you reach and you see the state how things are, it's kind of hard to step back and be like, okay, you probably need to recalibrate, and you need to
understand what you're saying. They promised home buy a Ferrari and he got a Tita. That's
when you reach in and you look under the hood, it's like, okay, there's
you are going to be the person that takes us into the technological future. It's like, say less, boss. First day on the job. This is the computer all the gamer to use. Yeah. I understand. That's a good sum up of it. Yeah, I appreciate that sum up. That could be it. But I still want to wait. I still want to see what concrete things are going to be said about AI, because there is a ministry that's named AI. If the ministry was not named AI, I would not be vexed with him talking about it being an aid and all them kind of thing. But the ministry is named there. Like, your name of your cart is Sammy's Gyro, and you're selling doubles, or you're selling
but Sammy's Gyro you don't sell all kind of things besides gyro.
But you could get a gyro.
Yeah, you could get a gyro.
Yeah, you could get a gyro. And if the name of the thing is AI, then there had to be some sort of a push fit. Either that or somebody get chained up real bad in the election campaign. Which...
I think it will have it eventually. Maybe.
Eventually? It's only 5 years. Yeah, you only guaranteed 5 years, you know.
Yeah, eventually. Maybe when they get to pass the own budget in September, it might have things there. Right now.
Okay, yes, you are making sense. That is correct. But they should be planning those things now, so they might be able to talk about. Okay, yeah, kind of making sense. Like, talk about somewhere that actually implemented AI and have good news about it. Yeah. All right, here's the article. This one speaks for itself. IBM lays off 8,000 employees for AI automation, only to rehire just as many soon after, because of what? That was very eye-catching. So here's what they said. In 2023, IBM made headlines when it laid off 8,000 employees from its human resources department. The reason, a new artificial intelligence system called Ask HR was set to replace routine tasks like payroll management, vacation requests, and employee documentation. The company argued that this transformation would streamline operations, reduce costs, and ultimately boost productivity. And yes, $3.5 billion increase in productivity across about 70 job roles. However, the real twist came when the company's total workforce didn't shrink as expected. Instead of simply slashing jobs, IBM found itself rehiring in areas that required human creativity and expertise. These new positions focus on high-value tasks, became a direct result of AI-driven evolution. The skills are software engineering, sales, and marketing. Okay.
So the rehired software engineers?
Shucks, I didn't have the article up. Okay, now I have it up here. They didn't fire software engineers. They fired a lot of people from HR.
Oh.
A lot of people was from the human resources department because the AI was handling all the HR tasks. But they had to hire new people in 3 major places that they stated, which is software engineering and sales and marketing, which I could see because software engineering is different from coding. So entry-level coders, their job is to like maintain systems that already exist by implementing patches and fixing other things.
That depends on where you work.
It's IBM.
Yeah, in some places, he's a software engineer. You had to build the server, do updates, you had to know Linux.
Yeah.
You had to be full stack. Everything.
Yeah.
Code.
Well,
develop, meet with the end users, do training.
In IBM, the software engineer, they doing more like architectural work and thinking through very complex ways of getting things more efficient. And if you get hired as a software engineer, then obviously your job is to think more, because software engineering is like 90% thinking and 10% coding. That's what I was teaching my Unit 2 students. Like, yeah, you're really not going to code much. You're going to spend all your time drawing diagrams and writing words and explaining what is going to be done and hierarchy and all that kind of thing.
Like, it depends on where you work to, because some engineers just do coding. Like a lot of, I saw Facebook and them companies, some engineers just do coding. They'll spend a lot of time trying to figure out the problem, but I'm sure they're doing coding.
Well, there will be an entry-level software engineer. Like, there's, how the US is normally class, let's call them, junior developer, senior developer, and then you move into software engineering. So the developers, they are the ones that do the grunt work, the coding work. And once you reach the senior dev, then you basically understand how the code works. But when you reach the software engineering, you reach the architecture behind it, and you do a lot more planning about how things connect to each other. A lot of like API stuff. And then you reach, junior software engineer, senior software engineer, and then like the manager or
team lead,
man, them kind of thing. That's usually the layout. So them hiring software engineers, I could understand because the AI would be doing all of the coding, but I mean, yeah. But the sales and marketing one is the bigger one for me. Because sales and marketing requires that human touch to convince somebody that you should give me your money for this product. And
yeah, but I mean, just to go back a little bit, why I say the engineers just do coding, you mightn't do as much, but you'll still be involved in the process. Because, say, if he's also an engineer, you would have other developers under you. If you're the team lead, you'll have other people under you. You yourself gonna need to know if what these people are doing making sense, or if it's BS or whatever, or the code they're doing, if it makes sense or whatever, and to kind of bring everything together. Or like I say, these people working on stuff in tests, but then it had to move to production. You yourself probably have to review the code. You might have to make changes. You might have to tell them, this is not supposed to be here. We move into production, so you need to look at the security here. So it mightn't be doing as much coding, but you're still gonna need that skill to be at that level.
Yeah.
And so to have the skill,
90% is your thinking and 10% is your coding.
Nah, it's more. I think it's more coding than that. But that's just
more than 10.
Yeah, I think it's more than 10%.
Nah, way. Like if you just think,
ask Gemini. how much coding a senior software engineer in IBM will do.
Okay.
Or even if they do.
Now, Michaela, this is like job stuff now. Sales and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
You ever sell anything to anybody?
No. I don't think so.
Yeah, it finds like selling things hard these days. Like
no, selling things easier than ever nowadays.
No, to convince somebody to pay their money, I find it hard.
For something they need. So it's the analogy, but it have an analogy.
Nah. I know people who need things and they impart in for their money.
Well, it's not, people who need it and they willing to pay the price, they will pay the price. Or if there's a certain benefit attached to purchasing something, then yeah. So like, for example, if something becomes trendy, it's very easy to sell it.
Yeah, it's kind of like selling supplements or supplements versus medicine. Supplements is, are nice to have, it kind of keep you healthy. But medicine, when you're sick, you're going and buy a coin, you need it to feel better. So it's...
Yeah, but there's some people that'll be selling things and they don't get no sales. And
but they're bad at selling.
They're selling supplements. They look for medicine.
Right.
Things that people need.
So...
And they're not targeting the proper audience. So your sales will be easier as long as you're targeting the proper audience.
Right. So thanks. You all have proven my point that we need humans to do this, and that's why IBM hired them. Because IBM was like, yeah, there's no way we could sell all of these things unless we get some humans that good at understanding how to market, how to sell, who's the audience, all those different things. That was IBM. So they hired back the same 8,000 people, but now to take the products that they're able to create so efficiently and sell more. And that is good news. That is good news.
Yeah.
My son said he wanted to learn business. I was like, go right ahead. Go do those business subjects.
Business could have a very good outcome, positive outcome if you're good at it, but it's not easy.
No, but in business you have to be very cutthroat, and you can't have no heart. You have to do what is in the best interest of the business, not what is in the best interest of the human. If you want the business to succeed,
you don't have to.
I was just talking to my dad about that same thing.
If you want the business to succeed, you have to do what's in the best interest of the business. Because humans,
you don't always have to be cutthroat.
If you wanted to succeed exponentially, yeah. Nobody rich heartless.
Nah, I don't believe that. Not all rich people are heartless.
Well, the ultra rich don't get rich by being nice and kind. They get rich by paying workers below minimum wage, cutting corners, deceptive tactics,
shady contracts. I would have said that before I run a business. I would have said, nah, not all business owners cut it. But after I've run a business for the past 5 years, I could see the dark side of my heart coming out and doing some really bad things. But I can't because But I've also seen me be nice in certain situations, and it costs money. It costs money, and I had to take the L because I made the call to let this thing slide, or let that, whatever the case is, or that kind of thing. Or you might, I can't tell somebody, no, you can't go on vacation because you have to finish this. That's not in my heart to do that. But to tell some business owners will be like, if this business have to succeed, that means this thing have to get done. That means the person who have to do this cannot go on vacation because they have to get this done, or else the business will suffer. They have to push back the vacation 2 days, and they'll go and tell them no. And that's
illegal.
Yeah. Well, it's not illegal if your contract doesn't state it, because it has some shaky contracts as be out there. Like
yeah, your contract could be shaky,
yeah.
but yeah, man, take it to courts. Yeah, man, courts love that.
Nah, but that court thing, you had a real chutzpah to take somebody to court when you know that it's going to cost a lawyer. That's how people don't even know how to find a lawyer in the first place. Like, you'll be like, okay, I'll take it to court. And you ask them, where you get any lawyer? And they'll be like, I don't know. I'll go and I'll find a lawyer. And just to walk in the lawyer office, you had to pay $800 to get a letter to do something. And they'll be like, what? You had to pay so much money just to get that? And plenty of people just don't do the court thing because of the legal marathon that you had to run. And that's kind of difficult. But I understand what you're saying. You don't have to be cutthroat to get rich, but to be ultra rich, you cut somebody throat along the way. Ultra.
Who's ultra rich?
Huh?
Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk.
Ultra rich. Them cut somebody throat along the way, and people have receipts on them, but they have receipts on people too, because inside there, I was watching a documentary too, about the music industry and thing. Yeah, they cut real people throats with them bad contracts in the 90s and thing, and all them.
They're still doing it now.
Yeah, and the thing is, it will keep going. It will keep continuing because business is about the business. You do what's in the best interest of the business, and the business is, if it's supposed to be profitable, whatever is going to bring more profit to it, and the other person is going to have to take it or not know that they're taking it. That is how you think does go. But yeah, but then the ethical folks, like yourself, myself, we'll try to be nice, and then watch other people be like, wait boy, I'm on real rich boy. Wait.
Yeah, it can't be too nice because people feel like it take advantage of you. So
of course,
it's hard to find the right balance.
Yeah, and when have humans done a good job at balancing? Never. All right, so the question you asked was, hands-on coding is 30 to 50% of your time, system design and architecture is 20 to 30% of your time, monitoring and code reviews 15 to 25, and meetings and collaboration 10 to 20. So if we take the smallest number, 30 is coding, 20 is system design, 25, no, sorry, if I take the biggest number, 50, 60, 70, 80, yeah, 50 is coding, 30 is system design and architecture, 25 is
code
reviews and meetings and collaboration. I'll take up the rest.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do a lot of
you do a lot
of hands-on coding. But
you could probably lump the code review into kind of coding too.
Yeah, well, the coding that they do, according to Gemini, is that they tackle the complex and technical problems that the developers couldn't solve. So they usually set the standard for code quality and best practices. And so they would create the prototypes and then tell the developer, okay, cool, fill that out or finish that.
Or like, see like the framework, that type of thing.
Yeah, and set up the
whole stack.
Yeah, set it up, and then the others will take over it. So they ain't gonna write printf. They'll be like, do the framework for the files in place, the packages and all of that, and say cool. Rest of your could work. Let's just recap what we spoke about, which is what's the banner? Okay, cool, yeah. All right, our payment system, the UPI system is coming in place. We spent about half an hour talking about our UPI system, because QR codes, boy. QR codes. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's tell the people on them. I gonna make sure we clip that one for the gram, and we're gonna send it out to let them know that Michaela said don't scan a QR code, because
don't scan the
QR code. Yeah. The government makes an AI statement. We talk about the statement, try to figure out what the statement meant and how it's going to impact our future. Nothing much. And IBM AI leads to more jobs. Sales and marketing is the one of the places that got a lot of attention, and sales and marketing is probably going to be a a safe-ish place from AI if we really think it through. B2C, business to customer. AI could take over that part because that's just customer patterns and thing. But business to business, that's going to require a little dinner, a little lunch.
Christy Wheels.
Yeah, a little wine and dine to get contracts to be signed and them kind of thing. It's no AI gonna get to do that. And you may become a cutthroat human being by greasing those wheels because once you buy that expensive bottle of champagne, you expect something in June, which is you will only take 10%, I'll take the 90, right? Okay, cool. And then you'll be like, but I was drunk. But you signed the contract though. Yeah, you did for 3 years.
She's a good thing I do. I stopped drinking.
And how an episode of Suits like that where somebody signed a bad contract or they was drunk and Harvey had to like save it. And of course Harvey did because Harvey is Harvey. But them thing happening all the time. Mm-hmm. All the time. Alright. I know about Suits because my son watching Suits now. He watching all them old shows. Well, not old shows, but shows that I watch. Till I again to watch Breaking Bad though. Breaking Bad is the pinnacle of television.
Wire.
I keep starting it and I ain't stopping it.
Huh?
You ever watch The Wire?
No.
Okay.
But it can be better than Breaking Bad. What, you start and you stop, Michaela? That way is it?
Yeah, I need to finish.
How you stop Breaking Bad? Breaking Bad is literally want you to watch the next episode. You just feel like, oh my goodness, I need to know what happens next. It
starts off slow to so.
Yes, it starts off real slow.
Yeah. It's set a foundation. Mm-hmm. But once that foundation set, it's like, oh my goodness, I can see myself in him. Okay, I'll just stop there. Where can I see myself? No, I see myself, hypothetically speaking, not selling meth on,
I can understand his situation.
Yeah. I can feel it when a big man going through things. Yeah. Tough. All right, my name is Andre Charles from @MakeItSimpleTT. I am going to have to bowl out some food just now. Oh no, this week is class party week. I don't have to cook. Haha.
When school closing this week?
Friday, yeah.
Oh, okay. So no more traffic from next week.
No, it will always have traffic.
Amen.
I don't think
less traffic.
For real? It has changed?
Drastic.
Oh, okay.
Night and day.
Oh.
Night and day. I'll be glad.
Well, I don't know because I'll be home. Sorry, that was not a flex. That was just a fact. Yeah. But I'm the reason why your traffic is going to be less. Yeah, I'm that guy. Yeah. All right, @MakeItSimpleTT, @TrinityTechCast, and wherever else you see me on the internet. It's my twin brother. Akeem, go ahead.
Akeem there from Redbit_Tech and TrinityTechCast.
Because that's where we're from. And Michaela.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You can find me on Keller_Noel on Instagram. And you could also find me on LinkedIn, Michaela Noel. You could go mark on my post for the summary of the second day of the Tech Hub Island Summit. Yeah.
You put it on LinkedIn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people do that on LinkedIn, That's the place for it.
Yo, let's have a good night, and we'll see you all next week for the Trinity TechCast. It was nice. Bye-bye.